Hey, what it do with the business is?
It is another week in the books. This is the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me.
Back from over the pond, eh?
Absolutely, man. Shout out to my blokes out in the UK.
My blokes.
I don't even know if that's the right word.
Top Boy. That is not. Brethren is brethren. Bruv. Two with the V, bruv with the V2. You should have watched Top Boy before you went over there, man. You'd have been on the road.
I might not have wanted to go after I watched this shit.
You wouldn't have. It was outside. How was the trip though, man? We back just in case you guys didn't know from the very rare week off for the On Deck.
That's true. Appreciate everybody tapping in last week for the throwback episode. The trip was super cool though, man. People are very nice in the UK. Not even just to us. I just observed it. People are very apologetic to each other. People are very nice. It was kind of weird. It was actually kind of weird.
It wasn't because you was black.
Huh?
It wasn't because you was black.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Not to just me. They were like that to each other. I just witnessed it. I just peeped it a lot. And they're
notorious for having like shitty attitudes.
Man, I didn't see it.
Really?
I didn't see it, dude. Now, I could see it in like Barcelona. Like they were kind of like, but in London, everybody was hella chill and very apologetic and very excuse me and thank you and sorry about that.
Accents did it for you. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. Was he?
Man, that's a whole bunch of that. And then as soon as you start talking, are you from the States? You're from the States? Like, yeah, nigga.
Hey, mate. It should have been like, yes, mate. How was the food? You went on a food tour, right?
Yeah, the food was good. The food is a lot like the States, though. They don't really have they don't have really their own culture when it comes to that shit. They got fish and chips, dude, and peas. That's the only thing that's really specific to London. Everything else is just the same way you go to here. Hey, nigga, you want hibachi tonight? You want this tonight? You want that tonight? It's the same thing. Well, we got like 3 American meals, max a hot dog. Like, what's American, dude? At this point,
probably hot dogs, hamburgers, probably.
Yeah, that's it.
Dope. I got to get over the pond, and you would go back though, right?
Yeah, all the places I done been in Europe, I would live in London before all the other ones.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to make it to Europe, man. Get out of the Caribbean and South America. Make it to the east. I mean, what is that? To the east? Yeah.
Don't ask me that. I don't know. I just be hopping on the goddamn plane. I don't know where the fuck it's at. But had a good time, man. Enough of that, man. We're not gonna talk about my Packers losing either.
4,000 miles to see your team take an L is fucking nuts.
Yeah, that was nasty. We were thick out there, though.
Was it to the Giants?
Yeah.
Y'all lost to the Giants and the Jets. That's fucking. I called this actually. This ain't no sports show, but I called this. Beginning of the season.
Moving right along, guys. Action-packed episode, man. Lil Baby dropped his long-awaited, highly anticipated It's Only Me album. Of course, we're going to review that only way we know how, on Deck TV style. Also, Tory Lanez outsells a couple of other quote-unquote bigger-named artists. Does that mean he is back? And Akon says what his feature price was in his heyday, and Lil Baby says what his feature price is today. We're going to compare and contrast those, man. Ask which one would you take. But first, the interview heard around the world until it was taken off. Nori's.
They took it down?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Nori's Drink Champs interview featuring Kanye West, or better known as Ye now. It's about 3.5 hours long. If you caught it, good for you. If you missed it, it's a Reynolds rap, unless somebody streamed it, ripped it somewhere. But Nori caught a lot of backlash, went on an apology tour on Hot 97, Breakfast Club, Twitter, etc. He caught backlash for how he handled the Kanye West interview on Drink Champs. My question is the backlash fair or foul that Nori is getting?
I think this is foul. I don't think that, deservingly so, Nori got pushed for not challenging Kanye West on some of the things that he brought up while he was on the show.
Yeah.
However, if we can recall back, Nori was taking shots on his Twitter at Cardi B, at Nicki, at people who would go do other media before they would go sit down with Drink Champs. I think something around his exact quote was, "It's crazy how y'all will go sit with them, but I've been calling for months and can't get you to come sit with me." He didn't specify who it was. He was just saying in general, for our culture, it would be great if you started here and then went there, which I totally got and I understand. So he can't switch it up when it's someone that he doesn't agree with. He can't be like, oh, well, Kanye West went and did whatever the fuck that dude name on Fox. Tucker Carlson. I didn't see him come stop by Drink Champs just because people don't want to talk to him. With that being said, if Nori is going to put himself as the must-stop shop for people in Black culture, then you got to be better prepared. That's where I do agree with the criticism. You can't just do the normal Nori, I'm taking a swig. You can't just do the normal round of applause, make some noise. No, I let Kanye think that. And then when he get there, I'm bringing the big dogs in, people who are experts on the subjects that he's talking about. We finna shut all of this shit down. Because I do stand by the belief that Kanye West doesn't need to be silenced. He just needs his ass verbally spanked in public, in front of people, so people can see that he's not as smart as he's claiming to be. Unfortunately, Nori is not that person. That ain't Nori's fault. But he can't back off of what he asked for with Drink Champs when he's saying, I want people to come here first, and deny Kanye West that option because everybody else denied that option. The shop did the interview, then they took it down. Well, excuse me, didn't even air it.
Yeah, no.
At least Nori got to the point where, hey, we tried it. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it like I wanted to. But if he were to take the approach of, I don't even want him on Drink Champs, that would make him a hypocrite. So that's why I think it's foul for people to criticize Nori, because his brand is, come here, we're going to give you your flowers. Or in this case, we should challenge you and speak to Black culture.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are online saying all money, not good money. Like, we understand this was going to come with clicks. We get it. It was going to come with some eyeballs, obviously. He's a lightning rod topic right now in terms of Kanye. But Nori's show, the structure of it is not built on what you said Kanye needs, which I agree. I think he needs that too. I don't necessarily agree with things getting taken down. But
what about not aired? What about the not aired one?
I do now. The not aired, I do understand that, because you have, as the creator or as the person who owns that platform, if you see that and you're like, yeah, this is probably not a good idea, like either edited or not aired at all, you're well within your right to do that. Tucker Carlson shit was edited. Yeah, he said he edited some of the shit he was saying on air out. So it's not as if they wouldn't even let him get that off over there. So, like, let's be clear. They knew what the score was. They understood what time it was. The shop knew too, because what's going to happen is whatever he says, whether you agree with it or not, you're guilty almost by association, unless you wholeheartedly flat out challenge the shit out of him. And then you run the risk of him walking out in 6 minutes in, and then you don't get the interview that you thought you were going to have. Now, I will say, I saw a couple of clips. The George Floyd thing was ridiculous. And I saw a couple of other clips that he was talking where he actually sounded cohesive on some of them. And I've come to the point where I ignore a lot of the interview stuff at this point, because I really don't understand what he's trying to prove. But I did see a couple of clips that made me go, okay, maybe I'll attempt to listen to this, because I'm not a fan of Drink Champs to begin with, and I'm not a fan of Kanye talking in circles either. And shout out to my homeboy, man. He texted me earlier today. He said, hey, man, they're going to kill Kanye. Out the blue. I ain't talked to this nigga in 2 years. I was like, damn. I said, what are you talking about? He said, bro, he said he got a year left, bro, and they finna get him up out of here. I said, why you say that? You said who? I
don't think it's that serious, but go ahead.
I mean, I said, why you say that? He said, man, because the stuff he's talking on here, he's exposing a lot of stuff on this Drink Champs, and some people in position not gonna like this. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out then. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to, because somebody somewhere pulled the plug on it. So maybe he has a point. I don't know. But I just don't understand Kanye's end game with what he's doing right now. There's no album out. There's no rollout to anything specifically to this grand of a scale to where he needs to be going this hard against the grain. So it looks like he's getting used by your girl.
Anderson.
Yeah, it looked like he's getting used, in my opinion, because she's got the documentary about George Floyd that he went to the red carpet. That was the red carpet was in Nashville. Hold the L, Nashville. That was like, so it looked like he's getting used to promote what she's done sold him on, and he's risking $1 billion Adidas deal, $1 billion Gap deal, all for Candace Owens, or I don't understand. I don't get it.
I'm not 100% sure, but if I were to guess, I would say the same shock value, shock culture that Donald Trump or Alex Jones, like that lane of people. Like I feel like that he sees now that if I can rile up that base of people, even if I don't get $1 billion blown from such and such, those little disc players, whatever the fuck it is that he's trying to sell, or the things that got the Donda 2 on there,
yeah,
I can sell physical product if I have a strong enough fan base. And I think what he's doing, I mean, he had a strong fan base, but obviously he wasn't getting what he looked for with that, I guess, with the factories and the more exclusive deals with Adidas or Yeezy or whatnot. So now I feel like he's just burning the whole thing down. And I'm going to take the people that ride with me, they're going to ride with me, and they're going to continuously buy my stuff, a la Donald Trump, a la Alex Jones, a la why he's in that lane with Candace Owens. If you become enough of a lightning rod, I can sell supplements on a website. Like Alex Jones made $200-300 million last year. Now I know he's getting sued for $1 billion, but that being said, Kanye West probably looking at it like, if that's Alex Jones and he can generate 200-300 million, and I'm Kanye West, what could I do with a White Lives Matter t-shirt? Like that was the first thing he come out and said, "Oh, I'm selling the t-shirts." Like that.
And then he ended up giving them away. He
now he giving them away. But like you said, I think just the end game or the game is to continue and to show people that he was trying to get money from is that I can generate and still be a lightning rod at a 43-year-old rapper. At the end of the day, I'm like, I think that's what he's doing. I may be wrong. He may have we may not be able to see it. One thing I will give him grace about is after I watched that documentary, I said this. I said I wouldn't he sometimes sees the board a lot differently from everyone else. We seen that in that documentary. So I'm not saying that that's the case here, but I will give him small benefit of the doubt that maybe he sees something that we don't.
Yeah, because listen, losing the Adidas deal and losing the Gap, or possibly the Adidas deal, losing the Gap deal, bro, what? Like, you fumbling the stupid bag, nigga. Like that makes.
But he was trying to get out of those deals, though, right?
No, he was trying to use leverage. What he was trying to do was use leverage to get what he wanted out of the deals. That and that kind of backfired when they didn't fold. Or they didn't bite, and so now they've been terminated for the most part. And this comes at the weirdest time. At the airport, dude, I bullshit you not. I'm in the fucking airport in New York, and I seen 5 shoes, the same 5 shoes, and 2 or 3 of them were Yeezys. And so I'm looking around, and that's what he wanted. He wanted Yeezys for everybody. He wanted foam runners to be $20 in Gap. He wanted Yeezys to be like Ralph Lauren, like kind of like a staple brand, not something hot today and cooled off tomorrow. He didn't want them to be 10 times like resale. He wanted them to be a legacy, stable brand, and it was working because those 350s were everywhere on everybody, dude. And that's, to my knowledge, what he wanted. So it seemed to be quote unquote working, which makes the timing of this extremely strange to me, dude. Like, I don't know what the purpose of this nigga is doing this, pissing everybody off right now. I don't get it. He doesn't have any new music on the way. He doesn't have any new big product on the way. That bullshit documentary on his YouTube page was nothing. He doesn't have a rollout for anything going on. And if he did, who would support it right now? Like, it's really strange that he had everything that he was looking for, dude. You can say, yeah, I want to switch fan bases to this, or I want to add them on, but at what cost of losing? Like, it's like you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. It doesn't make sense.
I don't think that he's in a place where he thinks that Black people can ignore him. I think that would have been the strongest stance for our culture during all of this. But I do think, again, I'm speculating here, getting to that other fan base that we're talking about, that MAGA fan base, the people that buy supplements from 1-800 numbers that he might try and sell in mattresses and shit like that. Maybe he wants them. But I also think that he believes, through saying slavery was a choice and wearing the MAGA hat and all this other stuff, Black people still have failed to hold him, I would say, accountable, in the sense of like, I ain't buying this shit. It may be like that now, but still we can't ignore him. Like, Nori still sit down with him. I'm still here saying that people should give him at least and verbally whoop his ass somewhere, the chance to get his thought processes off. So I don't think that he thinks that he'll ever lose this fan base. So operating under that assumption, I can go as wild as I want, wear the White Lives Matter show, but black people are so forgiving. When I go on my apology tour, when I'm crying in front of everybody else, it's going to be even bigger because people love a redemption story. What do you say to that?
There's no need for that. I could see if he was losing steam somewhere, but there's no need for that play.
But that's the thing. That's what I say. When he sees the boy differently from us, we sit here looking at him like it's Kanye West. Maybe he's going in rooms having conversations and people are like, I mean, you were Kanye West, you know? So maybe he thought or assumed because I couldn't get the deal with Gap, because I couldn't push the Yeezy deal forward. All these niggas think I'm losing steam. Let me go show them how much of a lightning rod I can be. That's the only thing that I could come up with.
But that ain't this is the when he started going with the Jew stuff though.
The what?
Like that's not finna get you no, that ain't the Jew stuff. But that's not gonna get you bro. Like that's not the way to go. Like what? Like that? It's like he's self-sabotaging his own situation. That's why it just nothing adds up. Usually I can see an end game. I can't see it with this though. Like it just looks like he's burning his own bridges.
Does he move down on your list as a personal fan, anything like that?
Nah, I've always said as long as he's not making MAGA music, I'm still gonna check his shit out.
Oh, so you fucking with him still? You still?
I mean, the stuff that he does for clicks and stuff, that hasn't moved me for 10 years. That just moves everybody else that believes in cancel culture, and I don't. So
do you think twice before supporting him by buying his stuff though, like his clothing or his shoes?
No.
Don't affect you that way?
No.
I think that's what he think then. Like if I can do this and a fan like you don't affect him, then why wouldn't I?
There's less of
I'm
me.
gonna gain more people too.
But
it's more people like you, I feel like, than it is like M Extra. Like it's more people like you that's like, man, I don't care, bro. Like the nigga gave me.
No, I don't think so. Nah,
you think you're in the minority?
I do. At this point, yeah, I do. I do.
Interesting.
Some people are here for the music. Some people can separate the person from the product.
Yeah,
we get to a point where that's harder for a lot of people to do.
One thing I will say is we don't have to do the fake thoughts and prayers for this one because he doesn't seem to be manic or doing this out of anything.
I don't know.
From a psychological standpoint, it seems to be very poignant and him coherent to what he's doing.
So some of the clips I saw, he did seem to be there. But some of them clips, bro, I was like, bro, what are you talking? Like, it's a lot of like, what? Like what you just said doesn't make sense at all. And not from you're just privy on some Illuminati shit and I'm not. It's just like, no, what you just said was
talking
not
in circles. Like
you're talking in circles, bro. Like you're just what are you, and then you're snapping and then but you're back calm and then it's like some of that shit is weird, dude. I'm not gonna hold you.
Interesting to see it play out, man. Moving from that and some more interesting stuff to see play out, man. The internet was on fire over the weekends because the ladies was fighting. The women folk went to Twitter. Nicki Minaj was throwing shade at Latto. Latto was shooting back at her. Meg got called Bigfoot for some reason, and she wasn't even in it. My question to you, Animal Brown, do the women's beefing online a big deal? Is the women beefing online a big deal to you?
I think it's a big deal for Nicki Minaj. I think it throws more dirt on her grave, if anything. Although I will say she is pretty entertaining. She could probably parlay this into like go back into that Apple radio show or something. She could probably parlay that.
Funny that they got a very that personality is hilarious.
Now that's a fact because her calling Meg Bigfoot and Latto scratch off, well, that was 2 for 2. Both of those were funny as fuck.
Them home runs right there.
Yeah, that like I was like, okay, this is entertaining. I'm not gonna hold you, but it speaks to where the knock on Nicki has been this whole time of not embracing the people that are coming up under her. Like, there's no reason at all there should not be a ladies' night 2022 with everybody we just named on one song.
We keep saying that,
bro. Like, where's that at? It's a layup, dude. But Nicki's brand has been queen this, queen that, and queens only rock with other royalty. That's why, and I get it. That's a brand. You want to do that for yourself. I understand it. It worked for her for a while when it was just her.
Yes.
Now that there are other people that are quote unquote under her, let's be honest, Latto is not on the same level as Nicki yet. Meg is not on the same level as Nicki yet. They're not. Nicki's a vet. They're not. What's my girl in Memphis?
Cardi, Glorilla.
Glow. They're not. These are all newcomers. She should have, and we've said this 1,000 times, and 1,000 people have said it. She should have taken the Drake approach, and every once in a while jumped down and hopped on a Versace by some group called the Migos. She should have jumped down and hopped on some dude in Memphis named JB Block Boy. And she should have hopped down and McConan got a hot record. She should have done that every so often, but she could have done it for the ladies, and she'd be untouchable. But right now, a couple of records ain't really hitting like that. She has a Billboard song that's hot with the Super Freak, but people really know that shit sound lazy. It's not really hitting on nothing like that. And so now we questioning like, she looks bitter. They wearing her out because she's older. None of this will be happening if she embraced the youth once every 18 months during her reign. But she didn't do that, so here we are.
Yeah, she would be like bossed up, boss bitch. I mean, not saying that she isn't, but if she were in, like you said,
this wouldn't be happening.
Embracing it, the age thing would be a non-factor.
Facts.
Latto said she reached out to Nicki a couple of times. I know Cardi said this. JT and Nicki got into it not too long ago. And for lack of a better word, and not to beat a dead horse here, you're right. Like, she should be, in an ideal world, reaching out to these ladies and helping grow even more. Because I know even we talked about it last episode, that female rap lane right there, that's the next wave. That's the next generation of like popping up and coming rappers. Like, the ladies get way more traction than the new guys these days. And there are a lot more of them that seem to be more entertaining. They are enjoying it more. Look at Glorilla. Meg was just on Saturday Night Live. Like, they're out here and they're doing it. Nicki Minaj paved the way for this.
Fact.
And it seems like she got so far in her royalty bag, as you would say, or so high up that she forgot how it was to be a woman in a male-dominated industry. She's doing the same thing that I think, didn't her and Lil Kim go through something like a little spat that they had? And she's doing the same thing. And it isn't the same landscape for the game anymore. She doesn't have to do that. No. Like, there's enough room for each one of these ladies because they have their own styles, they have their own flows, they're from different places. Yes, most of them were heavily influenced by Nicki.
Facts.
But they don't gotta tell her that in every rhyme. It seems like she's mad at women because they won't acknowledge that she paved the way for them what they are now. Everybody knows that. It's like what you said, that's lazy. What's the next step? Because we've never seen it. Lauryn Hill didn't do it. Lil Kim didn't do it. Foxy didn't do it. Queen Latifah didn't do it. All of them went to go do other things. But Nicki is still in rap. She still got bars. She's still arguably one of the best female rappers. She could have shown us what it was like to age gracefully as a female MC, not beefing with the chicks, but blessing them every year. Oh, I'm on the new Glorilla. I'm on that new Cardi. I'm on it. Like, whole verses. She could be doing that. And it's crazy for me to sit here and see as a rap man that she isn't. Like, you throwing stones and holding your hands. Like, what's going on? So I could definitely understand a younger artist like Latto's confusion. I could understand JT's confusion, the other love and hip-hop chicks that she was beefing with, though not that relevant. I could understand everyone's confusion because it's like, damn, we saw you when you were the only chick. We sure you had to go through this. All you got to do is bend a little bit, just a little bit, and show people some grace. And she's not even willing to do that. And that's why she's getting that backlash. It sucks too.
It's the blueprint was laid out. But again, she set the precedent. She set the stage for herself on a queen level, bro. And queens don't mess with quote unquote peasants or people lower than them. They don't stand next to them. So even if she had have done something, her fans would have been like, why are you doing something with them? Because she's built that persona for her. So that's why you get Katy Perry instead of somebody coming up, bro. She's not doing that.
Woman? Is that a female thing? Because like you just said,
I just think that's her brand.
Drake? Oh, that's just Nicki individually. That's her brand.
Yeah, Drake never called himself the king of anything, bro. He never came off like it. Remember when niggas was sending shots at Jay, and Jay would only respond to maybe one or two. And he was like, when Jim Jones and them used to shoot at him all the time. Niggas like, why are you talking to old boy? No. Like, he's like, they're not even on my level. So that's how in my opinion, had Nicki reached down and done some of that stuff with the queen persona, it would have turned her fan base off because they looked at her like, you only do shit with divas. You and Adele, you and Mariah Carey, okay, cool. But you and who the fuck, Mulatto, who was that? Then it would have turned on her, and so I think her brand has now kind of grown to bite her in the ass. And this stemmed from, for anybody that's like, where did this even come from? This stemmed from the Grammys moving her song, the Super Freak, out of the rap category because they said it were claiming it was too pop. They put it in the pop category, right. And she was like, "That's fine. Yeah, I want to move my song to pop. Okay, cool. Why is Latto's Big Energy still in here then? Because that's pop too." And she was expecting Latto to jump out and go, yeah, so I support Nicki in it, but she wasn't vocal about that. And so Nicki was like, why you didn't come up and back me and da. So that's where it stemmed from. Whether that's
because you're the queen, you're Nicki Minaj, bitch, you ought to be able to fight your own, excuse me, not bitch, but you're supposed to be able to fight your own battles. That's probably how she was looking at. They coming for Latto head. Kodak was mad at her about the little war stuff too. Like, I don't understand adding her in this as if it was her fault.
I don't know.
Like, y'all team should be working just as hard as mine for you to get these looks. And Nicki Minaj know how this goes. So like I said, like, I think Latto responded to that and was like, I've been reaching out to you. Like, I've been trying to associate myself with you and get it in. So now I'm not going to jump off the ledge with you and the Grammys and risk my career being curtailed for a motherfucker that don't even pay me any attention.
Yep.
And that goes with what you're saying is the arrogance of her position. There's no need for it. Like,
you can be competitive. You can be competitive, and you can be
competitive is nice. Yeah,
all of that
is cool. Like, getting on, if for nothing else, if for not a thing else, if I were Nicki, and I guess it's just a male standpoint of competitive, like you just said, I would want to get on there and watch all of them. Just to remind motherfuckers, like, yeah, all of this is cool, but all of these is under me. Like, I birthed all of these, to use her words. These are my sons.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, and it'll go to what we get in later on when we're reviewing the rap album. It's just different from when we came up and how people would approach it. And even with this, like, you're not gonna get no bars. It ain't gonna be no Latto diss track about Nicki. It ain't gonna be no Nicki diss track about Latto. You might get a line or two, but much to do about nothing.
That would be entertaining though.
I would be here for the female diss records. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Moving right along, man. Your man Tory Lanez dropped. Actually, several albums dropped while we were gone, including Tory Lanez, Sorry for What. He did 27,000 first week. You may seem like, man, that ain't really a lot, bro. Like, that's okay. Well, it was more than Freddie Gibbs, who dropped his long-awaited Soul sold separately. It was more than YG's album, and it was more than Kid Cudi, the People's Champ, Kid Cudi. It was more than all three of them. So my question to you, Tory Lanez back on Breakfast Club, did decent numbers outselling these other cats. Is he back? Is the Megan Thee Stallion controversy completely behind him?
I think the controversy is behind him. I think that he has plateaued though. He dipped down behind that controversy, kept working, he kept his name out there, he kept doing the right thing, quote unquote, proclaiming his innocence here. So he's been a talented dude, so his music is going to get checked out. And I think that he's been able to at least withstand everything, and it's going to be behind him now. So now you'll see him at this consistent level, 20 to 30 to 40 to 50,000 first week, still getting the interviews, now starting to get more features. He's not going to be as toxic in the industry as he had been when they were going over this with Meg. Because I think both parties have tried to put this behind him. Unless Tory comes back out and starts saying, oh, I didn't do anything, and y'all need to listen to my side of the story. Now that I listened to the Breakfast Club interview, but now that I'm assuming he ain't talking about that no more and it's about me and moving forward in the music, he can put that behind him. People won't look at him as they have been looking at him, and he'll be able to move some records. Outselling Kid Cudi and Freddie Gibbs and YG is not a big deal, in my opinion, though. Because Kid Cudi, I mean, he has a niche lane. YG ain't been active at all. Like I didn't
That's
even know
true.
he had anything coming. So and then Freddie Gibbs this was his second week or first week?
This was the first week.
Oh, well, Tory Lanez didn't get beat up twice in restaurants by other rappers. So of course that still matters in rap a little bit. And that kind of lost some of Freddie's fan base, in my opinion. So yeah, I would expect Tory. Tory's he's other than YG. Well, no, Tory ain't bigger than any of them, is he?
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's kind of like interesting. Like I'll put it like this: Kid Cudi, his 2020 album did 144,000 first week. This one did 22.
He was signed with that album, right? This independent, gotta be. Like it has to be something more to that, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm not sure if this is independent, but
yeah,
it's a big drop off.
Yeah, that gotta be. You not selling was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2020.
You talking about 100,000?
144,000. Freddie Gibbs' album is his first major label album, and he sold 20.
Compared to what? Like he usually do about 17 his first week.
I mean, but this was supposed to have a push behind that. What's the point of having a major if they not finna have you out here?
So he can get he could get his money first and didn't have to work for it.
That's true. YG, I don't even know what YG did. Look, this is interesting to me, even though it's not by a wide margin. Let's be honest. It ain't like Tory Lanez came out and did 250. Like, let's relax, let's pump the brakes a little bit. But if I'm him, that's a victory in my eyes. Because these other guys are relatively scandal free. I mean, okay, Kid Cudi says he's the most hated man in hip hop. Maybe he's right after looking at these numbers. Freddie Gibbs has got into it in a couple of rap scuffles. If you really follow rap like that,
he's been on the worst end. You got to put that in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but what does that really mean in 2022 though? Like, I don't. Nobody really cares
because you got to think it's people in this culture that will scroll right past his album because what they know him for is getting beat up and always being on the shade room and beefing with academics. Like it's still people out there like that.
Possibly. And YG's I Got Issues did 13,000, and he had his best single in years with that Mary sample on there. Like that's dude best single in a very long time, and that shit didn't mean anything.
YG? Like, is it what happened to? Is there something going on that we don't know about?
Nah, it been quiet. The music ain't really been hidden.
It got to be some West Coast politics. I refuse. Like YG, they was pushing YG like a star. Like they had him on the tier with Kendrick Lamar and Nipsey Hussle.
Shit, who the fuck? Whoa.
YG was part of that next wave of West Coast rappers. Like the nigga first album.
But that first album was banging.
Call his first album damn near classic.
That first album,
my
was
nigga
fire.
And shit was out. YG was a bona fide star.
Yeah, that My Crazy Life was fire.
You didn't expect how many years in? Is it 6, 7, 8?
Yeah, it's about
12,000, bro. That's nuts. That's like the ultimate fall off. Something got to be going on.
It's been gradual.
12,000, like
that's
artists
nasty.
Like YG is nuts.
Hey,
why? Like you talking about nigga with bona fide hits? Give me an example of to why you don't think this is nuts. Give me an example of someone who else is like been there and is now here at 12,000.
No, I think it's been gradual because his last album did 37,000. I'm looking at it now. First week.
How long ago was that?
2019.
And then what was before that?
2016, 38,000. So it's been before that 2018, 56,000. So he went down and then went up, then went down again. I don't know. The music ain't been hitting for YG lately, bro. But he's still doing this thing with clothes and shit. His 400 brand is doing pretty well from what I understand.
I wonder what happened to YG. I gotta know the backstory. That'd be a nice little 30 for 30 one day. All right, before we get into the review of Lil Baby, It's Only Me, his second major studio album that was released over the weekend. We'll review it on Deck TV style as we do. Last quick hit, Animal Brown, your man Akon says he used to charge $200,000 for a feature in his prime.
Yep.
Lil Baby says today he charges $300,000 for a feature, and he's in his prime. Which feature, if AB was an up-and-coming rapper, executive, A&R that was booking this, which feature would you rather have?
First off, this is Lil Baby's third album. I know that sounds crazy.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, they're harder than ever.
What was the first one?
Harder than ever.
Then it was
with that. Yes, indeed. With the song with Drake. All right. So this was interesting. 200,000 from Akon in his heyday, or 300,000 from Lil Baby right now. You would probably argue is his heyday. And the answer is easy as fuck. I'm taking that Akon hook, bro. Pause.
That's very
easy. Like, it's not even close, dude. Akon, them hooks, 07, 06. And bro, give me two of them. I'd give you 400,000. Give me two of them. A rap feature doesn't move the same way a hook would. Like, you have everybody and their mama singing that shit, dude. Like, back then, like him, T-Pain, or Chris Brown now. Like, I got 200. I got 300 for Chris Brown more than I got 300 for Lil Baby. I have to have a catchy hook that is going to give me radio play, that is going to get me played on Monday Night Football, that's going to get me played on the trailer for Black Panther 3. I need that, dude. I don't need a feature. Baby can come on there and wash me on a feature, bro. Who gives a shit after 3 listens? That ain't going to give me my money back. I need a return on my investment. I'm calling Akon for that hook. Appreciate you, my boy. Here go them 200. The wire, it just cleared.
That is the right answer.
Easy.
I would say, like, we from Nashville, Latto has a song with Lil Baby.
For sure.
I'm sure if you asked him, it was like, hey, in your heyday and Akon's heyday, if you could have got that Akon, would you trade that Lil Baby song? I'm sure he would 100.
I mean, he's on Lil Baby album, though. It ain't his song, though.
But still.
I got you. Yeah.
Any association I'm trading with, even though they were cool. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, the only way that I see the Lil Baby thing working, if you're a street nigga and you can muster up $300,000, is you getting your show money. You ain't in no 360 deals. You going out and that Lil Baby, if that Lil Baby song is able to keep you booked 4 or 5 nights a week and you making 15 grand a night, then it's gonna be a slow roll and you're gonna have to push it for a long time, but you will eventually make that money back, and more people may, since you out on the road, get to know it. But please, no mistakes about it. I am definitely going with the Akon 300,000, but I could see a hood nigga, if he were able to give you $300,000, how he would make it back. Though, like I said, it would be a slow grind. And I don't think that ticket would go for niggas like up and coming. If he seen a nigga like ESTG and ESTG called him,
it's probably a swap.
Before he was ESTG. No, I'm saying back before. He got to have him 300,000 now. ESTG dude. But when he was coming up, like, he probably would give him a deal. Yeah. But like now, if I like SZA is who's paying 300,000 for a Lil Baby verse, or Ari Lennox, or like something like that in the R&B tip, or like that's the only worth it that you're gonna get for 300. Like, ain't no rap nigga dropping 300,000 on a Lil Baby verse, like you said, and it worked for them. That ain't just like a street nigga that ain't doing the chitlin circuit. That like, Baby single ain't doing what a Drake single would do. So why am I spending 300K on it? I'd
rather have Drake. I'd rather give
Drake $1 million.
No, listen, I'd rather have a Drake feature and he get all the money, the royalties from that song, dude. Just like, I'd rather do that.
Cracking.
Man,
I'm hitting the road with that too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, I'd rather have Akon gonna be a smash though.
That 200 gonna be well spent.
Smash.
Global smash.
With it. Absolutely, my nigga.
Oh, quick update that for anybody that wants to hear more from Akon. He was on Cosmic Kev podcast. He talked about his city that he built in the Senegal, and he got some interesting takes. If you've ever watched an Akon interview, he talked about some places in South Africa where like the roles are like reversed, so to speak. He said the projects in South Africa are filled with white people and the black people are in the mansions. I thought that was very interesting. Sound like a Tales episode.
That's another question.
Yeah, I was like
apartheid and shit, and that was maybe that. I don't know.
Hell if I know, but he said it's kind of different out there. Okay. Shout out South Africa. I don't know. All right.
What did he say about the city? How's it coming along?
He said it's coming along. They broke ground. It's gonna be 1 square mile to start. Akon City, it's the name of it. It's gonna be all it's a smart city. Yeah. He said you'll be able to do when he was asked, when you say smart city, what does that mean? Yeah. He said you'll be able to do things technologically that you don't even have the capability to do right now. He said I can't tell you what that is because there's NDAs and shit, but it's gonna be Wakanda type shit. And he called it Aconda, which was actually kind of funny. But he said he can't say.
Right?
Huh?
When is it ready?
He didn't say.
Would you go? I definitely would go here.
Hell yeah. The fuck? Absolutely. I'm trying to work my way up to Africa because that flight is about 22 hours, dude. So I'm working my way up, dude. I'm probably trying to do Asia next. That's about 16, 17.
Yeah, you can get it there in 12 to 14.
Yeah, so exactly. So then maybe I'm gonna try to do the Africa shit, but that's a whole day on the flight, bro. That's rough.
God,
that's rough.
That plane need to be, nigga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That would be the plane with the bed and shit, though. Like, it gotta be.
No, you got to buy the seat with the bed, nigga. Like, yeah, nigga, they ain't all with beds.
They ain't just coming with it.
Coach ain't coming with the flat joints, nigga.
Hey, flying 23 hours in coach is insane.
I'm not doing it, bro.
I don't even know if I could do that.
Nah, Jesus. I can't.
Just the thought of being just like trapped in one place for 23 hours.
That's what I'm saying. You got to pop a fucking something, nigga, and be knocked out, nigga.
You gonna need that whole Zan, buddy. That half ain't gonna get you where you need to be. You gonna need that whole Zan to be out like that. Like, Jesus.
But y'all let us know, man. $200K for the Akon feature or $300 for the Lil Baby. What would y'all do? Remember, Future charged Megan $250. That's right in the middle.
She would have been better off getting a Lil Baby. She already had a Lil Baby song, though.
I can't remember.
Interesting.
She'd have been better off paying me instead of $250 for that Future. So she was garbage. Lil Baby time, man. His third album, It's Only Me. It's been teased for a long time. His last album, My Turn, was very, very popular, spawned hella bangers. So the expectations were high for this. It's Only Me, at least for the culture. What were your expectations going into this, Lil Baby? Were you looking forward to it?
Yeah, man, I was ready for this. Lil Baby is becoming one of those guys where like it's a maybe 12 a.m. listen when it drops, or you're heavily anticipating, you expect it to be in heavy rotation. He's gonna bring it, one of the leaders of the new generation. So all of that stuff fell in line for me. I was waiting on this album. Shout out my guy Chris Platty. We did a third quarter review. He gave all the numbers for it and anticipation. We talked about it for a while. So I was waiting. I was ready, highly anticipating this Lil Baby album.
Yeah,
maybe that was my mistake.
I was definitely here for it too, man. The last one grew on me. I didn't like it when I first listened. And then when I doubled back after they complained about the Grammy snubbing them, I was like, did Grammy snub y'all? And I went and listened. I was like, no, they got snubbed. That My Turn had several bangers on it. It was much better the more I listened to it and let it marinate. And with all the talk of Baby being the next up, remember kicking this year off, you had people like Charlamagne saying Drake and Baby was swapping places.
Yep.
Like this was now Baby's game. You know what I mean? He was going to take the baton and run with it. So I was very interested with that pressure, what he would do with it. With the project It's Only Me, with the Mount Rushmore with just his faces on it. I was like, okay, like it's time. In QC, he's QC's top dog right now, with the Migos trying to figure shit out. So I really, really, really was interested to see what he would do. That My Turn, for the record, went 4 times platinum. So it did good numbers as well. So when you listen to it, when you ran this 23 track effort, what did you think initially?
I thought, well, I didn't think this initially, but it took me time to get to this before we recorded. Rap is becoming like the dunk contest on All-Star Weekend. Every now and then you'll have a good one. You'll see some shit that blow your mind. But for the most part, when you get our age, you feel like you done seen every goddamn thing. Like everything, not to take away from anybody's ability or what they doing. It's still some hell of a dunk going on. It's just, I've been watching this shit for 25 years. Like I didn't seen most of it. And unfortunately for Lil Baby, that's kind of how I feel going through this album. One, for lack of effort, I get his aim and what he's trying to do, but it was more of the same. It wasn't a lot of challenge and stuff. It was very safe. The album was really safe. He stayed in the lane in which we expect him to be in, which is cool, especially for an artist of his caliber, but it didn't push any boundaries at all. Everything I got is exactly about what I expected or a little below. Like it wasn't any. Damn, I'm surprised he did. This beat's different, or I can't believe that feature was on there. Everything was like, I got a formula. It works. It's my third album. I'm gonna keep doing it. So to that being said, it was decent. It was good quality music, but it was nothing new under the sun for me. What about you?
Formulaic is a pretty good way of putting it. And look, we're only 3 albums in, so you want to you want to stick to what got you here until it's time to switch it up. That can be a hindrance to a fan like me, where I'm not the biggest Lil Baby fan, but I respect, I get what he does, and I'm not mad at it. But yeah, if you're looking for something, even just within the track list, bro, like different, bro, it's more of the same, and it may be too soon for us to be saying that. I think that was the problem with Baby's style, bro. Like you can see it growing stale if he doesn't switch it up soon, because he's not as versatile with the way, like he can flow differently on shit, but he can't really maneuver his voice differently like that. Like the same way maybe like a Kendrick can, or like a Drake can. Kendrick can sound like 3 different people on one song.
Yeah.
Like but that's just a gift that he has. Like some people have that. So therefore, the sound is not as monotonous throughout the whole thing. I found myself listening to this, bro. I didn't know if I missed the hook. I didn't know where the verse ended and the hook began, or if there even was a hook. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, did I miss it? Like, what? There's not a lot of layers or kind of depth to the sound of it sonically. That's not to say the production isn't good, because I think it's strong, but it just sounded like it can sound 3 or 4 songs in a row can sound like one. And it just, again, I'm gonna need some more time, because I'm gonna give them that respect, because I did that last time and ended up really liking it. So I'm gonna keep listening, but on my first or couple of listens, that's the same vibe I got. It's not a lot to break it up, bro.
It's a really, really formulaic. Like I said, another word that I'll use is safe. It's a safe album, and he's been handcuffed in a sense, pun intended.
Yeah,
I saw this online, and we can bring it here and have a discussion around it before we get into the track list. Listening to it after I saw this may have subconsciously put this in my viewpoint for this, but he also sounds like a rapper that's trying not to get indicted. We know everything surrounding the YSL. There's another gang that just got caught in Fulton County in Atlanta. The DA, Fannie Willis, is on a rampage. 4PF is very prominent in Atlanta. One of Lil Baby's gifts in coming up is, just like Jeezy for our generation, or a Gucci Man, like he was a real deal voice from the streets. It wasn't a rap nigga that knew street niggas. It was like, no, he was actually a participant. I was off the porch. That insight, those bars, the little things that people in Atlanta may get because they outside, that he had in other albums and mixtapes, like that stuff is gone. Like that stuff is not there anymore. And rightfully so. Like, he's smart. I get it. I understand it. I totally get it. Like he said, he even got a line and it was like, I don't fool around with thugs. I only mess with gentlemen or businessmen or something like that. Yep. It was funny and a stretch, but I get what he's saying and how he's going. If y'all gonna use this bullshit on me in court, use this then.
Right.
Use me saying I'm growing. There was a lot of growing the community lines. There's a lot of good, wholesome, nice information in there, and that's dope. However, Lil Baby's gift, he was the next generation's, the same thing that what Jeezy did for our generation. Like when we heard Jeezy talk, it was like, nah, rap niggas don't be saying that. This nigga might know something. Same thing with Lil Baby. Like rap niggas, especially his age, they don't really be getting in their bag like that. However, he did. But now on this album, that ain't there. And why I'm saying I definitely understand it, because I see what everything is surrounded. That's why I use the word handcuffed. It takes something away. It sounds a lot safer. And I could see why people would say, this is flat.
It kind of reminds me, and I'm gonna have to run back the last album, because I'm gonna be honest though, Lil Baby's never just been on here talking bricks this and bricks that.
Nah, I ain't even talking about bricks. It's small, it's subtle stuff. It's like just subtle stuff that you would catch, that you might have to be outside. Like I said, in Atlanta, some names that he'll drop, some scenarios or nights that he'll mention, some things that like people that's from Atlanta or know what was going on around and stuff. They like, oh, I can't believe he put that in there. That's heavy throughout the mixtapes, and maybe on the way up to that last album, like it's stuff on there pertaining to that. Hey, I didn't hear any of it on here. Maybe I'm too removed now, but I just didn't hear any of it on here.
I'm gonna have to check that out because if you look at the songs that he's known for, We Paid, Emotionally Scarred, Whoa, there's not a lot of street shit, bro. I mean, there's street. He's a street art, but there's not a lot of gun talk like that. He's not 21 Savage. Now, 21 Savage came out with something like this, then it'd be like, true. He's not spinning the block twice like it ain't know what a park is what I'm saying. Yeah, there's hints of it, but it's not as overly blatant as a lot of other artists. Nardo Wick is strictly.
See, that's different too. I see what you mean. His is a lot more so. His is a lot more Jay-Z 36 bricks I lost. Like his Lil Baby stuff is more so like that. He would be that of this generation. Using Jeezy may have been the wrong term. Right. When he does do it, the people that know about it are familiar with it, they pick up on it. And I just didn't or don't hear it anymore. It's a lot safer. Like even the subtle stuff isn't there anymore. It's few and far between because I still hear some of the stuff on there. He mentioned like Marlo and some other things, but it's few and far between. And again, I understand, rightfully so, but it's different.
There's one or two Draco lines as opposed to 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? Like
not even the Draco stuff, bro. I'm really more so talking about like street politics. Like such and such, like some of the names that you mentioned, some of the spots or places that they were at, like some of the like 4PF shit. Like I don't think 4PF was mentioned once on here.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I couldn't like that's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about shoot a nigga up, boom, boom, bang, bang. I'm talking about like we was getting them through the mail type stuff, like little subtle, like I was really out here stuff.
Could that just be growth as an artist in subject matter?
Exactly, you're absolutely right. And him being further removed from that stuff. Like he says that a lot on this album, like a lot of the stuff that, and great point, a lot of the stuff that got me here that I was on prior to, like I've grown past that, not be a dummy to still be talking about that. So I get it, but it does just take a little bit away from it. It's like everybody say, you get your whole life to rap about your first album. And then that second and third album, you just rapping about what the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And it reminds me of when T.I. got locked up for the gun charges and he had to do Paper Trail. And it was kind of like
perfect example.
Yeah, it was a little more PG-13. Like
Paper Trail, while it's still good, it's different from trap music.
There you go.
That's different. Exactly. Yeah. This is the same thing.
A different 100%. Place. And that's not necessarily anything better or worse. It's just different. Right.
It's just different.
What was stuck out to you on here? Any 3 joints or 3 aspects that stuck out?
Absolutely. For the 3 songs that stuck out to me, I like the Young Thug song, and well, actually, the feature songs were the ones that I liked the most. That stuck out to me because, like you said, the ones with Lil Baby only did kind of get monotonous, where you can't really tell a break from a hook or whatnot. Man. But the Never Hating with Young Thug, I liked. Friday is murdering the features right now. That's
he in his bag.
I like that. I like the Future song, and God behold, Rollo Rodriguez ripped this. It's a different style. It's kind of abstract, which is to your point of it being so much Lil Baby. When I heard Rollo, I was like, this is a different voice, and it was kind of catchy. So I liked it. It's ended up being one of the better songs for me. So those are the songs that stuck out. The one with Future, the one with Friday, Forever, From Now On with Future, and excuse me, Cost to Be Alive with Rollo Rodriguez.
Man, a couple of joints that stood out to me. I thought it opened and closed strong. I like Real Spill, the first song, and I like the very last song, Russian Roulette. I thought that was dope too. And then I also liked the Forever with Friday is about to stand out to me. But I'm gonna be honest, I did like the first couple of, like even the song with Nardo Wick, I like the beat at the beginning more than I like when it switched up. I thought it would
switch up sounded like that was
what was that
supposed to be on there.
That was
crazy.
Bro, I don't know what that was. I was like, yo, why y'all didn't keep with the first beat? I think the production is strong. Let me say that. Production as a whole is pretty strong. The first song, the last song, and the song with Future was pretty dope. I'll go straight into what I didn't like, and it kind of speaks to what you said. You said you like the features. I do too. I just needed more of them. This could have used, and I don't remember the last time I've said this. This needed more features. You know what I'm saying? With all due respect to Baby and his skill level, it's there. I get it. Most of the songs are 2 minutes and 20 seconds long. They move pretty quickly. I would have liked for this to be fleshed out a little bit more with at least 3 more features on here. I'm talking about at least. I needed Moneybagg Yo on something. They make pretty good music. I needed 3 more niggas on here at minimum, like, because it could have really used.
Song. He definitely needed something with Gunna on him.
Something with Gunna. We needed one of them Gunna verses off the hard drive, bro. Like, we needed more features. That's all I can say. Whoever the fuck you want to get on here, Kodak probably would have slapped on one of these. I need something, because I just can't do 23 tracks of Baby, but bro, it's too much. Like, it gets too monotonous, bro. I'm sorry. I hate to keep beating that. I don't want to do them like that, but it's just a fact.
For me, the production is good. The features were okay. It just didn't sound like it didn't that third album. This sounded like you, especially since you're saying it now. I thought this was a sophomore slumpish album that I would be able to put it in, but this is the third album. Again, I'll make the dunk contest comparison. I don't know if it's because we've seen a lot of it, but it just doesn't seem like niggas ain't like the music or bars part of it. And I'm not expecting Lil Baby to be Nas, but just the nigga, here's my album. This shit fire. It's the best shit that ever came out in the world. That kind of is missing to me, unless it's a nigga like Tory Lanez or something. But just the overall, like, I'm that nigga-ness of it is what I mean. And even when you saying the features, yes, like, I wanted this to be like the Big Boy Lil Baby album, like a Drake feature, like Jay-Z should have been on this motherfucker. Like, this should have been the one where motherfuckers, like, the numbers are already there, like, they can support it because he's been putting up numbers, so the budget was there for it. Yep. Break the bank with this one. Like, you ain't even got to see that much of a return. I promise you, if you break the bank with this one and make it as big as it's supposed to be, that next one is going to be even bigger and you're going to make money off of that. Yep. I just don't think that it was a big enough album to be the third album for a guy like Lil Baby. Like, you the nigga now. Like, this ain't an album from the nigga. This ain't an album from a guy that's one of them ones. Like, you're supposed to be the generation that we come from. You're there, J. Cole, you're there, Drake, you're there, Kendrick Lamar. So when those niggas drop albums, it sounded like, nigga, this is one of their albums. I'm one of them dudes. He don't come off as one of them dudes on this album. And to give an example, Future, though I'm not the biggest Future fan, he came off as one of them niggas on his latest album. Like, I'm Future, my nigga. And that's what I would have expected from Lil Baby with this album. So if I had to give the lowlights, it's just not big enough. Pause.
I agree. But to be fair, I'm gonna shoot him some bail on the features. It is called It's Only Me.
Yes. And I get what he was trying to do there, but this ain't like, this wasn't that, bro. Like, you gotta be bigger than that. You big and It's Only Me is big. I get that, but even like, this is like, you that nigga now. You were supposed to be knocking niggas out the way with this album. It was like you said, it was a conversation point as to has Lil Baby to replace Drake. I don't know. He might be. This album was supposed to make you say, hell fucking yeah. Well, at least you were trying to do that. It didn't even seem like he was trying to do that with this album. It was just like, man, I know what I can do. I know the formula. If I do this, I'm going to get here. I wanted to see him get here, though.
Bro, I think 80% of these songs don't have hooks, bro.
Yeah. Like, it's easy for him. And you can tell that it's getting easier. So he's not challenging himself to do anything different. It doesn't sound like. And again, it's still good music. I ain't saying that to say
I ain't mad at it.
Trash. I'm just saying that to say we can tell. Like, it's a nigga that can show up to the gym and I can give you 20. But what do it look like when you put that work in, like you can average 27? That's what it's like.
That I agree. And that hurts the replay value when you don't have hooks, dude. Because that's the catchiest part of a song, bro. Like, you have to mix that up in here somewhere, bro. Like, you got songs in here 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like, bro, and you rapping 2 minutes straight, you 32 barring me up, bro. With like, bro, I don't need that from him. Like,
and I can barely hear you on some of the shit that you're going. I'm old.
Bro,
like, yeah, if you going that strong, like at least need to be clear.
Is he a better feature artist?
I think that he needs somebody to work with him on an album. I think one of the things that guys from this generation don't really take full advantage of, like people did with last generation. The guy that does is real great. It's like Game. So you'll know that I'm not being any type of way, because people know that I ain't really a great big fan of Game, but he cultivates an album really well. I don't know who works with him to do it or how he does it, but even on his last one, the nigga had 30 fucking songs, and you would think, man, I'm tired of this shit, but it didn't happen.
That's true.
And he's similar, like he don't change his voice a lot.
Well, he does. He just does it to sound like other people.
Sound like other people. Okay.
Probably more annoying.
Right, exactly. That's true. But that being said, he can keep you entertained for 30 songs. Lil Baby need to sit with somebody who's more of a veteran in the game that could kind of show him like, that's cool. That was dope for the mixtapes. And that now when you turn it into this artist, it's like gonna be a mega star, and let's focus on making a dope ass album. I don't think that he's made that dope ass album yet. Though the last one was good.
No, the last one was fire.
Yeah, it did for this. But when he sit down and he can make an album, like a Nas album, or like a niggas when they talking about I'm making an album, when he do that,
like a Future, like a top tier Future album,
exactly, like a DS2, something like that, exactly, an album. This is a lot of good songs from Baby.
I agree. My real quick, my low light, that song Jeremiah's Slaw. I don't know what that is.
He went into the lady bag one too many times.
Yeah, that's a bad song. What rating would you give it?
3.5. Was that banger? 3.5 reels? Yeah, 3.5 reels.
That's too high for me. I give it 3. It's good, worth streaming. Like, it just seems like a collection of songs. It seems like they picked out 23 songs off the hard drive and didn't worry about like a theme. And
I mean, they just one more half just because it's Baby. I could listen to Baby do that before I could listen to anybody else do it. And I'm more of a Baby fan, so I could see.
Yeah, that's fair. Y'all let us know what y'all thought, man. Are we too hard on it? Are we sleeping? Do we give it too much grace? Let us know, man. It's Only Me by Lil Baby. I did like Young Thug verse though. I did. That was a pretty dope song.
That's a first.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm tripping. Wins or losses time. Wins, or is this a W or an L? Jeezy performs his B-side show, mixtapes only, mixtape records only, but doesn't sell any tickets to the public. Is that a win or a loss? But you can stream it on IG.
This is a W because niggas would have got in there and like Jeezy B-sides in a small ass club. Man, come on, bro. Talking about your shoes getting messed up. Standing room only. I'm hot. I missed it though. Can you go back and replay it on IG?
I don't know. It's a good question. Somebody probably streamed it and put it on YouTube by now though.
I'll go check that out. It's an L though, because no tickets. I would have been in there though. No lie. Shoes.
This should have been at. Why wouldn't this have been at Fox? Is this big enough to be at Fox?
Yeah, it seemed like it was impromptu though, because they this is just like last minute.
He promoted it, but it looked. He did it in a club, which I get the theme because that's how he made his come up. So that's cool. But bro, I'm not going to standing room only in a fucking club, bro. Like what?
If it's gonna be a club, it got to be like Compound or something. If
I don't even think it's open anymore, nigga.
That's even still open.
Yeah, like what, nigga? Do this shit at do this. We ain't got no Hard Rock. There's no.
It should have definitely been at Fox or the Roxy, like you said, Coca-Cola. Either one of those, or even where I went to go see Push It. That would have been fire.
Anything but this is what I'm saying. Yeah, it's an L. W or L. Ice Cube, Big Three, owner of the Big Three, is recognized as the first Black-owned sports league. He followed that news up with going in on ESPN about them stepping on his coverage, man. Win or loss for Ice Cube.
This is a big W, man. I'm not understanding how he's just now being acknowledged for being like, did he just now could have complete ownership of it or something? Like what?
I don't know what that's about.
The delay in this.
I thought that was weird too. It's been out for years at this point.
That's crazy. But shout out to Ice Cube for this, man. Hopefully, like I said, my dream and pipe dream is maybe he can take over and be commissioner of a HBCU football conference and just combine all of them together. Him and Dion do some work, man. You seen Dion's 60-minute piece, you know what I'm talking about. This shit was fire.
Yeah, that's hard. Shout out to Ice Cube. He claimed that the NBA and ESPN were trying to destroy his Big Three league. He said they would refuse to acknowledge the Big Three's innovations and contributions to the sport. But fuck all that. It's official. He's a black-owned sports league. Super dope. I can't wait to see it evolve.
Yeah. And 3-on-3 basketball is an Olympic sport now. So shout out to Ice Cube.
That's true.
If he wasn't it, we gonna give him credit for that. Black people gonna give Ice Cube credit for that. It happened at the same time.
That's a fact. Last one, man. Is this a W or an L to your man, Big Draco? Soulja Boy paid a stranger 1,000 to be his sandwich holder.
I mean, this is a L for the sandwich holder. Cause you gotta have your did you see Soulja Boy's teeth in that picture?
No.
Look up Soulja Boy's teeth before he got them goals. After he got the goals removed, it was probably the most disgusting shit.
I have seen that. Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, I don't want my fingers, hands nowhere near that nigga mouth for no $1,000. Pause.
Yeah,
no $1,000. It's a big boy stunt though.
Gave him $1,000 sack to hold a sandwich. Nigga said, "I'm a sandwich holding son of a bitch." Then, if that's the case, that's funny. You holding a sandwich for a stack?
Not for Soulja Boy. I told you, man, that nigga bite you with one of them. He make a mistake bite with one of them nasty ass teeth. That nigga got, man, you might catch gangrene in the finger or something.
Shit.
Hell no, it ain't worth him $1,000 unless it come with a medical write-off or something like that. You got to pay my medical bills.
That's nuts. I mean, on deck of the week, man, we going to YouTube. Shout out to Black Recluse 1. He commented on the Freddie Gibbs episode. Said, great episode again. Gibbs has really been through the ringer. Laugh out loud. And he would not be lying. And then shout out our guy Podgy. He asked on the Nas B-side episode, he said, hey, are we doing a Biggie episode? What we going to do? I was like, oh, okay. Biggie B-side is very interesting.
Biggie and Pac B-sides, can we get both of them in?
Let us know, man. Biggie and Pac B-side is that the move or no? That's a good. I like that.
Right,
I like it.
Yeah, too. Yeah, I like that.
I kind of like that's kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. Appreciate the comments, people. We always appreciate that, man. What you got to put me on?
Put on is gonna be rough this week, man. Especially after reviewing a Lil Baby album, because niggas is gonna be like, Lou, you just gave Lil Baby 3.5, and you're recommending me this album.
Oh shit.
But
okay.
When I tell you, I made complaints about Lil Baby album maybe being boring, not being innovative. That Chapters of the Trenches by T Grizzly.
Yeah.
You listen?
It's not yet, but it's a visual album. You know, you got videos for every song.
I did not know he had videos every song. Shout out my guy Maurice, producer Another Week in the Books. He told me that I haven't watched them yet. I only listened to the album.
Yeah.
And I might be blowing my top 10. This might be the best shit I've heard this year. Easily.
Big ass.
Easily. And I ain't just talking about from a lyrical standpoint, the creativity and what I was talking about, like rap sound like the dunk contest. Who knew that T Grizzly was the hood Alfred Hitchcock, dude? Who knew that? Like,
bro, you've been telling stories for a minute though.
He has, but this is a whole album full of them. Back to back, like different story, like really good shit, dude. I wish you had heard it so you could like co-sign and tell me if you liked it or not. But if you're looking for something switched up, something different, not just the same thing that you've been listening to, this nigga got a whole album full of like Lil Boy Fresh songs like Joel Santana had, and I fucking love. I when I was riding listening to this, I felt like I just watched a movie. I really couldn't believe that I was listening. Like, nigga, T Grizzly, like, how did he come up with this? Like, because I didn't listen to any of the interviews or anything yet, but I'm gonna go back. I didn't know it was like just a story laden album. I always liked T Grizzly anyway because I like Detroit style. Yeah. But this right here, just it put him on another level for me, man. The creativity alone, like fire.
T Grizzly is pretty talented though on the low. Like a lot of people, I don't know if people rock with him like that. I know he's been in this video game bag lately, but he's actually kind of I actually like T Grizzly though. I'm definitely planning on checking this out.
I am a fan. Like, let me know when you listen to this. He has a story about like two homeboys like betting to fuck the teacher. That shit was fire. Funny. That was fire, nigga. I cannot wait till you hear this shit.
You gas
T Grizzly album.
I fuck with T Grizzly though. My put on, you alluded to it earlier. I got two real quick. The Deion Sanders 60-minute segment. Y'all go check that on YouTube.
Oh, that was good.
But go watch that. It's dope. Man. Yeah, for nothing other than just being dope. It's about 12 minutes. You got time. And then this movie I watched on the flight, it's called Dark Waters. Have you seen that with Mark Ruffalo?
No.
Man, it's based on a true story about the lawyer who took DuPont to court.
I've heard of that though.
Man, dude.
Is that good?
It was good, number one. Number two, the story though will if more people saw this, they'd probably be like more upset about the shit going on because the stuff that they were putting in their pans and their skillets, the Teflon coating, has this ingredient in it,
that little plastic
that causes cancers and they knew it because they tested it out on their employees without them knowing, and they tested it out on animals, and they were just like, oh shit. Well, and they kind of just still put the product out. That ingredient or whatever you want to call it is in 99% of living humans.
I see that.
It's in all of us. We all have it in us right now, and it can't leave you. It's crazy, dude.
There's a podcast called Swindle, another put on the Swindle podcast. He did like an hour, like he do all like scandals and stuff throughout history. He did like an hour on it. That shit was fire.
Man, that shit.
Familiar with that? Check it out.
That shit'll. It's like a scary movie
story though,
bro. It's like a scary movie but like based on real shit though. Like
nigga, Black Mirror, real life.
Like real life though. Like that shit is in everybody. If you ever ate anything that was cooked on a pan, nigga, then it's in you.
Thanks.
Shit is nuts. But anyway, it's called Dark Waters.
Today about it too.
Who?
It was a story on NPR today about it too. Ironically.
Damn. Man, y'all check that out though. It was interesting as fuck. Again, we appreciate everybody tapping in, man. YouTube.com/OnDeckTV Show. Instagram is the same. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, do all that good shit, man. Share it. We appreciate it. Anything else before we get out of here?
That's it, man. I am Spike Lou. Check us out all throughout the week. Appreciate you joining. We out.
Yes, sir.